the last couple of years after this pandemic, what we see is like there are a lot of adoption to online transactions and things like that. Like say two major lines of business if we speak about. One is healthcare, the other one is like BFSI, what we call as banking, financial services and insurance domain, right? Both are very critical in terms of the data that we handle. So this pandemic has pushed the general market, the public, to move into this direction. And that actually has an impact on, as I said, the faster turn, speed to market and things like that. So we tend to shorten the development life cycle to take this product to market, whether it is in chunks, whether it is in pieces, or in like versions or whatever. So we should be very careful about not leaking the data or not giving space for any vulnerabilities or any exploits or anything. So it is very important that every single release of a version of a product should go through this process of software composition analysis, and this trend is only going to grow. And in fact, there is a prediction which says that this particular technology or SCA market is expected to grow at a rate of 21.7% CAGR over a period of say 2020 through 2025. So it's going to only increase, and in the next 3 or 4 years, it's going to grow in multifold. It is all of them. It is all of them. So it's not just about security and things like that, but security is the major component of SCA, I would say, because with as I said, I mean this goes back to the original question or original thing that we discussed, right? With with this pandemic in place, the last 2 years has completely changed the way everything works, all the business works. Everything is becoming online and things like that. Think about a market like India, right? It's a huge market for all online transactions, for the telephone, for the cell phone industry and things like that. With the current government's ambitious initiative of making everything digital, right? Every single transaction is going to be digital and things like that. Imagine if there is an exploit and people gain access to one of these exploits. All the data is in the wrong hands. So it is very important when we build a software. We need to make sure that at least the known exploits are addressed. One another example is like a content management system, for example, right? WordPress, I'm sure you're familiar with WordPress, and WordPress is one of the most popular CMS system that anybody uses, especially somebody who wants, irrespective whether it's a small business or a large business, or even enterprises use WordPress as a CMS package. WordPress is often criticized for using outdated coding practices. Believe it or not, even now, though it is so popular, there are a lot of outdated code, mixed coding styles. That's one of the major challenges with using open source software, because you have many different minds contributing to open source softwares, and one of the main challenges was the coding style, right? And how sure are we that the contributor has already taken care of all the vulnerabilities? It can be as simple as a cross-site scripting vulnerability, or it can be as simple as the password not being encrypted. I'm just trivializing it, but it happens, right? So it's a nightmare of problem to make sure to address this. One statistic that just comes into my mind, out of some close to about 4,000 known vulnerabilities, 52% are from WordPress plugins, and we use plugins like say it can be a payment plugin, it can be a scheduler plugin, it can be anything. 37% of those known vulnerabilities are from WordPress core itself. when the core itself has 37% of vulnerabilities, contribute to that vulnerabilities, known vulnerabilities, imagine how tight we should have the security in place.